can just follow me home, I guess. Dadgum. The plan for today is to multitask. We got to get this little guy painted up. And we also got some work to do on Fireball, so hang with us. We're gonna put another coat of paint on here. As you can see, we already got one on before we left. So we're gonna slap another coat of paint on here, and then we got to get some brackets and stuff off of Fireball, and I will show you what we got going on with that. There you can see what we kind of got going on here. Here's our ratchet strap holding the air breather on, and right here at my finger is where the bracket broke. You can see the strap held it on, but you know, things are rigged. And the bottom bracket down here, you can kind of see it's cracked right there. So we're going to pull them off and try to straighten this bracket up and weld it and fix this top bracket. So here's what we got. Here's top bracket, or should I say brackets, because now it's two-piece. Yeah. And here's the bottom. It broke in half while we were taking everything loose. You can see they're bent. I don't know if I've ever mentioned, but this truck was hit on the right side, so that's partially why these brackets broke. But this right here, part of the strap, scared to really move it much because there's not much left of it. So we're probably going to have to, as much as I hate to do it, weld a couple pieces of strap across here to kind of give it, you know, somewhat of support. But we're also going to have to straighten how this is bent down. We're going to straighten that out too. So might be a little more of a challenge than what I anticipated. But according to our local Western Star Freightliner shop, they don't make these brackets no more. So I don't know, maybe they're just not looking. I don't know. If anybody out there knows, let me know. Before I ever start grinding and welding on these brackets, we're going to have to try our best to beat them straight. Already got this one pretty straight compared to what it was. So we're just going to use our vise here. Get a picture here. There we go. Use our vise and a hammer. If I have to, I'll go get my piece of railroad that I have. I don't know where it came from. It was here when we bought the place. So before we ever start trying, we just got to get them straight before we try welding. And then, because I personally think when he got hit, the top bracket more or less slightly bent and broke. I think it's been cracked since the accident, because you know, you look, the only shiny is like right that little spot right there. So there wasn't much holding on with this for a while, because it's pretty rusted and pretty thin where it's cracked at, where it broke at. So you know, we're gonna do our best with what we got to work with, and hopefully we can get it close enough that it looks halfway decent when we put it back on the truck, till we can find some new brackets. Well, we got the top bracket, you know, kind of welded up here. We're going to have to, unfortunately, take the grinder to it. Don't do that very often, but with it being so rusty, I need to get it flat so I can figure out what I'm going to do to fill that hole I burned through, because it's thin in some pretty good places. I'm going to have to tell the old man, I guess we're going to have to, either way, we're going to have to find some brackets, because these ain't going to last long. It'll be enough to get us by for a little while, but we're going to have to find some. Alright guys, what we ended up doing here is making a brace. As you can see here, we made us a little piece of steel bracing, because this was pretty dadgum flimsy, I tell you. So that was our solution to trying to stiffen up a rusted out piece of junk.
So what we're going to do here is let this cool down a minute. Then we're going to add some restoration to it.
So we're working on a bottom bracket, and you know, this thing just has to have a slight bend in it, because this thing is cooked. Rusted out, you know, with the crack in it. You know, there's no telling how thick the metal actually is right there, so I was still going to, but I got to add a sleeve, if you want to call it that, kind of like the other one with a little bit bracing, but you know, give a little bit more metal to make it last hopefully a little bit longer, because this one here is cooked all together. So yeah, what I'm currently attempting to do is shape this piece out to hopefully weld to the front of this, because as you can see, there ain't much left of that, and that is the main part that holds the bottom of the air cleaner on. So with a little bit of luck, this little piece will work, and we can get by just a little bit longer, but you know, we're definitely got to figure something out as far as this brackets go, because like I said, I don't think the driver side's going to be much better than what we got going on the passenger side. So woo-hoo. I was going to try to put a little restore on these, but we're running out of time, at least daylight anyway, and we need to start putting things back together. So I guess we'll skip out on that, because either way we got to replace these anyway. So we're going to try to put it together now. Yeah, it's all mounted up. Still got a little bit of lean to it, but you don't have much to work with. You do what you got to do. I never envisioned that it was going to take me all day to do a 5-minute job. Now, it should have been a pretty short, easy job, but I guess when you're trying to rebuild rust, well, you kind of run into new challenges. But